afternoon, everybody. I'm Andrea from Enjoy Staffordshire. Some of you may already know me and some of you may not. I'm the lead officer at Enjoy Staffordshire for Tourism Awards. We've been running the Enjoy Staffordshire Tourism and Good Food Awards for about 9 or 10 years now. We started in 2013. We have been running them with Visit England since 2019 when the competition was revised and using the new Visit England format, which means that our competition winners go forward to represent Staffordshire in the National Visit England Awards for Excellence competition. And we've been pleased to have winners in that competition in the past, most notably the National Memorial Arboretum and Gladstone Pottery Museum. And then this year, Alton Towers picked up silver for the Accessible and Inclusive Award. Today's session is about helping you to get some hints and tips on how to use the system to enter the awards. And Nell's got a lot of experience in this area. She's part of our judging team that we've recently commissioned, and she's going to run through with you. It'll be around about an hour.
Thanks very much, Andrea. Farouk, you've got your hand up. Did you want to ask something? Farouk, did you want to ask something? I see your hand is up. Or are you just waving at us? Okay, that's fine. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for being here today. It's great to see you all. And thanks, Andrea, for the introduction. My name's Nell, and I'm working with Andrea on the awards in Staffordshire, but I also run the awards in Devon, Dorset, Somerset, Cornwall, and in South East England. And I also, I've worked in tourism for 25 years. I've organised weddings, run hotels, bars, restaurants, and also written entry forms. So I've been where you are, so I know about these entry forms. And so I've had lots of experience of running workshops for other businesses as well. So we've collated all of that information that we've learned from other people and the information that we've got from the entry forms, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So before we start, I'm going to try and share with you a short video about why you should enter the Staffordshire Tourism Awards that Andrea made. So I'm just going to try and share this with you now. And if we can just press play on that, there we go.
We're here tonight to celebrate the county's fantastic businesses in the tourism and hospitality sector.
We have some absolutely outstanding tourism businesses. What we don't always do is shout about them and celebrate them and really showcase them to a wider audience. So tonight for the awards is an opportunity not just to celebrate quality and innovation and excellence, but actually to fly the flag for Staffordshire tourism.
It's an incredible event which brings together all those people that are working across Staffordshire and just celebrating everything that they're doing and what they're bringing to the economy and showing how great they are.
Oh, it's been amazing. Everyone applauding each other's businesses, all the different categories coming together, and actually being able to talk to business owners that, you know, we know a little about their business but haven't got to meet them, so it's been a really nice atmosphere.
It's tremendous to see all of the sector together, enjoying themselves and celebrating the best of what Staffordshire tourism's got to offer. We couldn't be prouder to be here today, and it's been a delight.
An event like this means so much to us at Alton Towers Resort because it means we get to celebrate what we've achieved but also see the achievements of others. We get to be amongst like-minded people and really showcase what Staffordshire is. We're all super proud of it, we know it has a lot to offer, and coming together as one voice means we can really shout about Staffordshire.
Entering an award in itself is a decision that I think all businesses should take because you already win. I think what you do when you fill in the application, you start to self-evaluate your business. You look at those touch points, you look at the areas that you're doing well, you look at those areas where you need to make some improvement. I think it's recognition and it's validation that actually they're doing a good job. They are flying the flag for Staffordshire tourism.
We've been coming to these awards for about 15 years, and it honestly means as much to me now as it always did, if not more actually. We've got a big team, and to go back and share this with them, it's great for their morale. It's great to share it and make sure that we can pat them on the back and say, look, this is your award.
that was just to give you a taste of what the awards are all about. So I'm just going to close that down so that I can see you all again. And now I'm going to share my screen with you. But before I do that, I'm just going to ask you a quick question. That's for everyone in the room. So you just have to select one answer, and you have to select yes or no, just so I can get a feel for whether you've entered the awards before. So you just click one button so we can have a look at this. And then I'm going to just see that everyone's answered. There we go, everyone's answered now. Sharing the results. So it's 50-50. Some of you have entered before and some of you haven't. So that's really interesting to know. So I hope this session will be of interest to you. So I'm going to share my screen now and we'll go through the PowerPoint. And like I say, it's about half an hour or so. And you will get a copy of this PowerPoint after the presentation. And there's links in it at the end, which I hope will be useful to you, because it'll be links to finding out more about the awards, where to go for more help, useful links about accessibility, sustainability, Visit England Awards as well. So you'll get a copy of that, but you might want to take your own notes as well as we're going along. Is that okay with everybody? Yeah, okay. Jolly good. Right, I'm going to share my screen now and we'll start with the PowerPoint. Here we go. So these awards are all about excellence. We use a system called Open Water, and Open Water is a system that you put your entry form on, and all the awards across the country use the same system. So if you enter the awards in Staffordshire, you'll be filling in the same entry form as you would if you were entering the tourism awards in, say, Devon or Cumbria or York or anywhere else. All the awards and all the entry process, the entry forms are all exactly the same across the country. So what we're going to cover today are why we should enter, and you've seen the short film already, which kind of shows some of the benefits you get from entering. We're going to go through the actual process, how to complete your application form, and then what happens from today onwards. And then, as I said, we're going to take questions at the end. So why do businesses enter the awards? Well, they enter for many, many reasons, which you can see here that we know as visitors to other tourism businesses that if we see award winning, it's quite often an incentive for us to go. Our customers like going to award winning businesses because it gives them quality assurance. And as we said, the awards are all about excellence and they will have been judged thoroughly. So businesses and visitors can be reassured that businesses like yourselves have gone through a thorough judging process. And if you win, then they get the reassurance that they're visiting award-winning businesses. Once you enter as well, you also have great opportunities for PR, because when you enter the awards, you'll complete your entry form and then you will go through a judging process, and then you'll be shortlisted. And once you're shortlisted and Andrea and her team announce a list of finalists to the world, then you have an opportunity for PR then. And then if you win, you have another opportunity for PR. And then if you are one of the top scoring businesses and you go through to Visit England, then you have the opportunity to not only get local and regional PR, but also national PR as well. So the awards are a really, really good opportunity to generate PR. And what I found with some of the businesses I've worked with is as soon as they start posting stuff on social media that they've won an award, they get great engagement from their customers and their stakeholders and their suppliers. Everybody wants to get involved and congratulate you. We also found it's great for staff morale as well, because staff love to be associated with award-winning businesses. And it's a great boost to morale to be associated with an award-winning business. It will also give you a competitive edge. Obviously, if you are a gold-winning business, then you'll have an advantage over your competitors. And what I've found in the past is that quite often businesses that have won bronze then go on to visit the silver and gold winning businesses to see what they could do better. They like to benchmark. And there's also an opportunity for networking amongst your peers as well, because you'll have an awards celebration, so you'll be able to meet other like-minded people. And the awards, we'll come on to this in a minute, but we'll give you a chance to complete nationally, and everyone that enters will get free feedback. So you'll get feedback on your entry form and how you could improve it in the future, and what you did well on your entry form. Other people I've worked with have said that they've used it as a kind of an opportunity for business planning as well. There's 4 questions you have to answer, and it really focuses your mind. So instead of viewing completing an entry form as a chore, you kind of view it as an opportunity. It's a way to really have a good look at your business and look at what you're doing now, what you're doing in the future, what you're doing well, and what you could be doing to make your business better. So these are just a few of the benefits of entering, and the awards are free to enter as well. So it's kind of a really good opportunity for you. And I would say that whether you're a small business or a large business, everyone has equal opportunities for winning. It's not all about size. And Visit England do a survey out to all the people that enter the awards to ask them why they entered. And you can see here the results of that survey. And you can see that the quality assurance, as I've said just now, is so important. Where the actual attending an event is much lower. So people don't just enter because they want to go to a big party at the end of it. They enter because they want to learn, to get best practice from other businesses. So the actual awards process is, as I just said, you go to the Staffordshire website, and I'll give you the link at the end. And on that website, there is a lot of information for you to look at. There are examples of entry forms that you can look at, and you can download their Word documents. So you could download them, you could draft your responses in there, you could then share that information with other members of your team or your partner, your friends, your family. Some businesses even share it with their customers and ask for feedback on it. So you could have a look at these sample entry forms. But when you actually come to complete it, again, going back to the Staffordshire website, you will see that there's a link there to an online portal, and all the entries have to be sent in online. So you enter the awards and you use this online platform. We'll go through in a bit more detail in a minute, but the online platform, you can save it as you're going along. You don't have to do it all in one go. You can answer one question, save it, and come back to it. And it's there for you to look at all times until you press submit. And once you press submit, that's it. It's gone. You can't go back and change it, but you can save it and print it as you're going along. So you fill in your entry form, and then you go through something called round 1 judging. And the round 1 judging is based on your entry form and links that you give and your online presence. And the judges are going to look at all of that, and that's called round 1 judging. Then there's something called round 2 judging, which applies to some of the categories, which means that the top scoring businesses will get a mystery visit, or some of them might be pre-announced, which means a judge will come to your business and they will experience it as a visitor would experience it. And the judges are all about, they're curious, inquisitive visitors. They're not assessors. They're not going to be carrying around a clipboard looking for 2 bedside tables, that kind of stuff. They are going to be an inquisitive visitor. So that's the judging. And then they'll find out the winners. You'll be invited to an awards ceremony. And then the top scoring businesses from that, in some of the categories, will go through to Visit England. And Visit England is the national body for tourism, and they run their own tourism awards. So when you're starting your entry form, not only are you writing your entry for entry into Staffordshire, to compete against businesses in Staffordshire, if you're top scoring, you could be competing against businesses across England. So it's really important to get everything spot on for your entry form. So I'd say it's part of a journey. So the system, as I said, is called Open Water. So the first steps are you click on the link on the Staffordshire website, and you'll see there's a link there to the online portal, and you set up your account. And it's just basic details. And once you've set up your account, you'll be able to look at all the categories that are open to businesses. And quite often we find that businesses might start off thinking, I want to enter B&B of the year, but then they might realize that they are particularly accessible. So they might want to enter accessible as well. I think everyone in the room, particularly over the last couple of years, will have an unsung hero. And these are people that go above and beyond in their day jobs. They're individuals. They're not usually owners and managers, but they are people that work really, really hard behind the scenes. And this is a really good opportunity to give them recognition that they deserve. So unsung hero is something that I would imagine most of your businesses, you'll be able to find someone. So we've got here what's called a core category. And these core categories are ones that feed through directly to Visit England. So you fill in one entry form. And then, as I say, if you're one of the top scoring businesses, you can start your journey all the way through to Visit England. So you can see there's lots and lots of categories there. Categories for accommodation, experiences, attractions, pubs, food, as well as new tourism business and accessible, ethical and resilience as well. Visit Staffordshire also run something called a regional award, which is the Food and Drink Retailer of the Year. And this is just run in Staffordshire. So this award will be given to businesses in Staffordshire. You won't go through to the Visit England Awards with this one. So these are the core categories. And so you can have a look and see which ones you might want to enter. And again, I'm just going to try another poll now. I'm going to stop sharing that one. I'm going to try another poll just before we go any further, to just ask you what sort of categories you're thinking about entering. And you can click more than one. So I'm just going to launch this now. And you just go through and you just click on the buttons of, you're not going to be held to this. It's just to give me a feel about what sort of awards you're thinking about entering. Just give a bit more time because there's a few more people. Right, and I'll end the poll and I'm going to share the results with you. So we can see we've got unsung heroes here. We've got people considering accessibility, business tourism, ethical, lots of accommodation as well, attractions, experience, food and drink, and resilience. So we've got everything here. We've got a really wide choice across the board. So I'm going to stop doing that now. That's great. That's really good to know, because we're going to cover all of those awards there for you. One thing to note is when you go into the system, Visit England merges some of the categories together. So, for example, independent restaurant, casual dining and tea room, if you go through to Visit England, they will all go into one category called the Taste of England Award. So once you're entering on open water, you'll click on the taste button and then there'll be a drop down box and then you'll click on which of the foodie ones you want to enter, because they say there's 3 that are included in that. So they're the core categories. So your application. It's great to have some pictures here as well included of all people that have won in the past, and you can see here their businesses that are small and large and how happy everybody looks. That's the other thing about entering awards, they make people feel good. I don't think we should ever overlook that, particularly in the current situation we're all in. So the first thing that we have to look at when we enter is whether you are eligible for an award or not. And this is really, really important, because if you're not eligible, then it's not worth your time in completing the entry form. And each category is different. So once you've gone onto open water and you've clicked on the drop-down box, selected your award, you will see the eligibility category criteria written down there. So you just need to go through it all and make sure that you fulfill that criteria before you go any further. And if you've got any questions at any time, you can go to Enjoy Staffordshire and you can ask them. And then you go on to put in your business name and a promotional description about your business. And these are really important, because if you win, this information that you give now is the information that's going to be used on awards night. So it's not scored, but it's worth taking a bit of time to make sure you get your promotional description spot on. And also include images, and include brilliant images of your business. They should be landscape, they should be high resolution, they should be relevant to the awards that you're entering. So for example, if you're entering Pub of the Year, the image should be of food or of the pub. If you're entering B&B, again, it could be of your breakfast, it could be of your building. unsung hero, obviously you need a picture of your unsung hero there as well. So you need to take a bit of time to upload some promotional images. For every question, you are able to put in something called supporting evidence. And the supporting evidence comes in the form of a URL. So it's a web link, basically. So you can attach a web link for every question that you answer. And we'll come on to that a bit more in a minute. And you'll see at the bottom of the screen, what I was saying to you before, you've got previous, save and submit. And at all points when you're doing your entry form, you can press save. And please remember to press save. That's the most important thing. And then when you're entirely happy with it, press submit. You then have to go in and you have to put in a bit of background about your business. This is just telling the story about you and your business, about number of staff, how long you've been in business, who your target market is. And again, it's not scored and it's 250 words. So this background is kind of setting the picture, telling a story for the judges. And then you also have the opportunity to put in any awards or accolades that you've got as well. So you can see here, you could have large awards, you could put Michelin stars in, you could have small awards like FSB. You could have, if you're entering an accessibility category, then you could be looking at National Accessible Scheme, Autism Friendly. You could be looking at TripAdvisor reviews. You could be, they can be big or small. They don't necessarily have to be huge awards, but to make sure that they are all relevant. So you can include all of those. Then we come on to the first scored section of the entry form. So this is where you have to put in details for your website and your social media platforms and any online review sites. And if you are entering, let me think, if you are entering a B&B, no, that's the wrong example, the links have to be relevant to the awards category that you're entering. So if you're using Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Snapchat, TikTok, any of those things, you need to put those links in here so the judges can have a look at them. You also need to put in links to any accessible information you've got on your website and also sustainable information. So you might have an accessibility guide, so just pop in a link there, and the same for sustainability. And this section is 30% of the final score of the entry form. So judges are looking at making sure that your website is up to date, that all the links are working, that on social media, that you're using content that is engaging, that's encouraging people to come and visit you, that you're using things like promoting events, that you're using film. They're looking at how you're engaging with visitors. So are you commenting on other people's posts? Are you thanking people for posting on your social media platforms? And then for online reviews as well, they're going to be looking at the review. They're going to be looking at the links that you've put here on the form, but they're also going to be Googling you and having a look at other review sites too. So they will look at any online reviews that they can find about you online as well. And for that, they'll be looking for evidence of engagement as well. How are you responding to reviews? And that's really important. So that's 30% of the score. So that's the start. And most of the entry forms have got 4 questions. And so there are 4 questions that you have to answer, but there are a couple of exceptions. And the exceptions to these are the Resilience and Innovation Award, which just has 1 question you have to answer, which is why you deserve to be recognised for being resilient and innovative. And the other one, which is the Unsung Hero, which I talked to you about just now. And that's basically, why should this person win the award? So they just have 1 question, those 2 categories, but the rest have 4. And we're going to run through those questions now. So the first question is your top qualities. Why are you brilliant? Basically, why should you win this award? That's what we want to know. What makes you unique? What makes you better than your competitors? And for each question, there are examples for you to include. And you can see the list of examples there on the right hand side, and you'll see these on the entry form as well. So they're there to act as prompts for you. So you can pick up to 5 of them to include in your answer. And you've got 500 words and up to 5 ways that you are brilliant. Why are you the best? And it could be for any number of reasons, but it needs to be from across the whole of your business. So you might be brilliant because you offer brilliant staff training, you've got brilliant facilities, you've got brilliant services, you've got a fantastic track record in sustainability or accessibility, and it might be that your marketing is brilliant. So question number 1, your top qualities, why are you brilliant? Everyone know why they're brilliant. Let's have a show of hands. If you know you're brilliant, everyone put their hands up. Yay, that's great. Quite often people are modest, and this is a chance not to be modest. This is the chance to really, really shout about why you are brilliant. And now we're just going to run through a few of these examples here. And for each entry form, they're going to be different examples listed. So, for example, if you're entering the Accessibility Award, the prompts that you'll be given on your entry form are slightly different than the one I showed you on the previous slide. So you can see here that top qualities if you're entering accessibility might include enhanced facilities, services and initiatives you offer customers for accessibility requirements. It might be that you employ staff with impairments. It might be that you're inspiring other businesses to be more inclusive. If you're entering the Sustainability Award, again, there's different prompts there. So for on each entry form, you will see different examples. So we're just going to run through all of these. But I'm just going to just ask Andrea, just while I have a drink, ask Andrea whether there's anything that I've should have covered so far. So Andrea, just for a second while I have a quick drink. Over to you, Andrea.
Okay, thank you. I don't think you've missed anything. All I would say is that we do have samples of the forms on our website, enjoystaffordshire.com/awards, where you can download those in advance in a Word document, which will help you to prepare your application offline in advance. I've put that into the chat with a link as well. But you do actually have to apply through the portal online, but it might be helpful for you to fill part of that yourself or ask another member of staff to fill something in on the form beforehand. So preparing it in Word sometimes is quite helpful for some businesses, because it allows you to hone that application down, get it down to the right word count and get the key relevant information in.
Brilliant. Thanks, Andrea. So I'd say definitely for each one, the word counts, it's set out there. So make sure that you use the word counts. You can't just be putting here, yeah, I am a brilliant business. The judges don't know you. They don't know who you are. So you need to spell out exactly why you are brilliant on your entry form. You can't presume any prior knowledge at all. The judges are basing their judging on the information that's given to them on the form. So please, please, please answer the question and use the word count. And if they ask for up to 5 things, then put up to 5 things. And that sounds really silly saying it like that, but it's really frustrating sometimes the number of times you see when people haven't answered a question, and so the judges can't score them. And so it's really, really important to answer the question. So as I say, I'm just going to run through those examples in a little bit more detail now about looking at ways that you could, answers you could put in really. And so we could be thinking about, you might be brilliant because you look after your customers in a particular way. You might be brilliant that you ask every single customer for feedback about their experience and you act on it. It might be that you give everybody a goodie bag when they leave your business. It might be that you follow up every single person that comes to your business with a thank you for visiting me email or an incentive to visit. It might be that you are always going above and beyond. You are anticipating what your visitors want and you are meeting those needs before they even know they want them. If they've got a cup of coffee, then you're bringing them water with it. If they've got allergies to a particular food, and say for example you've got a gluten intolerance, you're not serving them coffee with a biscuit, you're giving them something gluten-free. It might be the way that you look after your staff. It might be the way that you train your staff as well. So that caring for your customers is a way of showing that you could be better than everybody else. You might be better than everyone else in terms of your marketing, in which case they could be things that you're doing on social media that are really kind of exciting and innovative. It might be that ways that you're working with Enjoy Staffordshire or Visit England on some of the campaigns that they're running. And if you have a look at their website at the moment, they're offering opportunities for businesses to engage with them for planning for next year. So again, there's links to that at the end of this presentation. What are you doing that is very, very different in terms of marketing? Or as I said, it could be about accessibility. It might be that your business really focuses on accessibility and that you're better than everyone else because you've got better facilities, that you're sharing information, that you're sharing film, that you're training staff, that you've got quiet places for visitors. Your staff might be dementia friendly. If you're running a foodie business, you might cater for particular dietary requirements. It might be that you're particularly sustainable. That might be what makes you brilliant. And then you can look across the 3 pillars of sustainability. So environment, economic and social impacts, because it could be things like that you're working with local charities, that you're supporting a football team. It could be that you're collecting or fundraising for someone. It could be that you're doing big things. So you might have solar power. It could be that you're doing small things. You might be recycling every single thing that you comes through your business. You might be working with your suppliers saying don't use any plastic. You might be encouraging wildlife into your garden. Into your garden. I'm saying that because I can see birds out my window now. You might be encouraging wildlife. You might be encouraging your visitors to arrive by public transport. You might be incentivizing people to arrive by public transport. It could be things like promoting walking, cycling, other businesses in your area. There's lots and lots of things that come into being ethical, responsible and sustainable. And again, there's a link here. We can find out loads and loads more, and they're all free or low cost things that you can do. So we come on to question 2. And question 2 is about looking at what you've done, what improvements you've made over the last 2 years. And again, they're looking for 500 words and up to 5 ways. So what have you done? And everyone has gone through incredibly challenging times over the last couple of years, and have tourism and hospitality have innovated like no other business. I don't think they've innovated and survived, and we're here to tell the tale. And there's so many things that people have done differently over the last 2 years. So what have you done to improve your business over the last 2 years? And it might be different facilities that you're offering, it might be different services. It might be that your customers have given you particular feedback and you acted on that. It might be that you've made sustainability or accessibility improvements. It might be that you've undertaken different forms of training during lockdown. And training could be things as simple as reading a book, or it could be signing up for a college course or doing networking. And these improvements can be big or small, but across the whole of your business. And as I say, the prompts that you get will be different depending on which category you enter. So say the examples I've given here are for accessibility on the left and sustainability on the right. And it's very small writing. It's not meant for you to read, but once you've had a look at your entry form, you'll be able to read all of this and you'll be able to look at the prompts. So if the examples are there, then that's what you need to put in your answer. And then question 3 is all about successes over the last year. And this is where we want to have facts and figures here. It has to be evidence-based. And the question states they want 3 successes. So you need to put 3 things in your answer, and it needs to be 300 words. And one of the things to think about as well is how significant have these successes been on your business, and to state this here as well. I should say at this point that all the information that you give as part of your entry process is the judges sign confidentiality agreements. So it's confidential. So this information is seen by the judges, and that's it. So don't be afraid to put facts and figures in here. So it might be things that, you know, as a result of spending X on this marketing campaign, it generated Y in new business. It might have been as a result of improving our website, we've generated this number of visitors. It might be as a result of changing to a particular energy form, we've saved the X of our electricity bills. Might be that we've increased occupancy or turnover or number of covers in our restaurant. This is really about, you want facts and figures in here to show what you've done that worked really well, and you want to put 3 things in here as well, and 300 words. So that's the third question. And then the final question is, what have you got planned for the future? And this is for the next year. And again, they're looking for 3 ways here. So make sure you put 3 ways in there, and 300 words maximum. And you can see here that there are lots and lots of prompts on the entry form. And again, it's an opportunity. Have a look at the examples that they've given there, and then make sure that you cover some of those examples. So 3 ways to promote and develop your business. And are you doing it because of customer feedback? That's really important as well. And what will be the result of you doing this? You know, we're planning on I don't know, changing energy supplier because we hope to reduce our electricity bill by X. We're going to be recycling this because we want to reduce our waste we're doing this because we want to reduce our waste by X%. So make sure you put in what you're hoping to achieve by your future plans as well. So they're the 4 questions. And so these slides here are just summarizing basically what I've run through, which are basically key thing. Read the guidance notes for each question. Read the information that's on the website. There's loads of information on there as well. Look at the categories, and as we said before, there might well be more than one that you want to enter, and there's no limit to the amount of awards that you can enter, but make sure that you check that you are eligible for that category before you start the process of entering. Have a look through all the questions, and then make sure you answer the question. And if you decide to enter more than one, you will need to write different answers for each category. So for example, if you're entering B&B, your answers will be different on that form than they will if you're entering accessibility. So you can't just kind of cut and paste across all of them. So you need to make sure that you tailor the answer for each award that you enter. And as we said, that anything that you put down on your entry form, and that if you get shortlisted and the judges come to visit you, they're going to be looking for what you've said. So make sure that everything is completely accurate, and evidence everything you say. And that's where those links come in. They really, really come into their own. So for example, if you're saying that as a result of doing this marketing campaign, and you could give a link to show the marketing campaign, you could also have a link to show results that followed from that marketing campaign as well. So they're web links, but they could be web links to something like Dropbox, or any form of sharing documents as well. But any supporting evidence you give needs to just be to back up the answer that you've given. So it might be that in the awards thing that you have won a particular award. So it might be an image of an award. It might be that you want to share an image of, I don't know, a biomass boiler you've installed. So they're the sort of things that you can include for your links, for your supporting evidence. As I say, don't assume the judges know anything at all about your business, because they won't. They're going to be judging it on your entry form. So making sure that you include all the detail that you need to include in it. And why are you brilliant? That's the key thing, isn't it? Why should you win? You're all here today, so I'm sure you are all excellent tourism businesses, but it's to get that passion and the reasons why you're in business, and it's to get that down on paper. And I'm sure all of you will be able to do that. But say, if you need any help, you can contact Andrea and her team as well. Once you've completed the form, you can either do it on screen, or if you're like me, you miss things when you see them on screen. I print them off and then I read them. And I know that's not entirely environmentally friendly, but I need to do that for my eyes. And then I'll read it, and then I'll make sure that I haven't got spelling mistakes in it. I'll make sure that everything I've written makes sense. I'll proofread it, and then I'll give it to someone else to proofread as well, because these awards are all about excellence. So your entry form should show attention to detail, and how excellent you are. And again, I've even known one business to show it to one of their customers before, and they've got feedback from their customers. They've added to it. So I would share it with your team. I would if you've got a team, even if it's is your partner, I would share this with your team and get everyone involved and get them to have an input into it, because then it can be a really good team building thing. And you're going to make sure that you submit it on time is the key thing. You've gone to all this effort of completing the entry form, answering all those questions brilliantly, and just need to make sure that it's in by the 18th of October. And the judging will carry on until the end of December, and then there will be an award ceremony in March, and that'll be a chance for all of the award-winning businesses to get together and to have a big celebration. And as I said to you earlier at the beginning, here are the links. You can get sample entry forms. You can find out more about the national awards. There's a brilliant PR toolkit you can download there as well. You can find out more about digital marketing. You can find out about how to write an accessibility guide, and you can find out about how to improve your sustainability. And what I would say to all of you is a really good thing to do is to mystery shop your own business, or get a friend to do it, or one of your family members. Get them to go through your website now, and make sure that all the links are working, that it's up to date, that all your social media links are working. Get them to have a look at your social media, get them to come into your business, get them to experience it and give you feedback before you enter. So they'll have things that they can add to your form as well, I'm sure. So the next steps are, this is the website, go onto the website, select your categories, and then you need to press submit before the 18th of October. And on the left hand side, you can see all the social platforms from Enjoy Staffordshire. So I definitely say follow them, and then you can find out the latest things about what's happening. And then this is the contact details for Andrea. So I'm now going to stop sharing my screen, and so that I can see all of you, and I'm going to stop the recording now so that we can then take some questions. So I'm just going to stop that now,